Welcome to Avid Learning, that's the correct way. And I'm told learning never stops here online with us. My name is Cyrus Broacha, and the opening joke is that they've asked me to actually sit here and conduct a class on comedy. And the last time I tried to help someone, I was just thinking about this. There was an old lady, and she got hit by a car. So this terrible thing, was just crossing the road and held her hand. I was on the phone. So never be on the phone when you're crossing the road, and never hold the lady's hand at the same time, because you need to concentrate on one or the other. But that's not for today. Today is about comedy. I was thinking about, the whole problem with comedy is analyzing it is a real pain in the you-know-what. This whole idea why I became a comedian was frankly to avoid work, avoid analysis of any kind. In the background you might hear my critics. They're two canines, they're the only people who watch the show, but they're always there with me. Frankly speaking, I look at it as 2 points. We have a craft and we have an art, in any art form, so to speak. So when you do the craft point of view, you're on your conscious level doing comedy, in which case you have to sit and plan. Think of it as an insect. You have to have a head, a thorax and an abdomen. But in comedy you need a head, the rest is also important. The point is, as a craft you sit and in a conscious way you plan and you structure. It's almost like a science. So that's one type. And then there's the art form, which is more organic, which I think I'm more comfortable with. You don't know what you're saying, like this program that I'm doing right now. No preparation, as you can tell. And you just get on with it, stay in the zone, stay in the mood, and hopefully things organically grow and flow. Mostly it's rubbish, but once in a while you become Groucho Marx. Check that reference online later, because I can't waste time, only 5 minutes. Back to the craft form. So we do a show called The Week That Wasn't, and for which we have to write, and it's a political satire of sorts. Nobody's ever watched it, so it stayed on the air for the last 14 years. And we look at the political spectrum from our viewing glass and we spin it the way we want to. So that is a craft. You have to sit and write. You have to, for example, we're stuck with the coronavirus. So we've got all kinds of gags which are about coronavirus or related to it. I did one where, as you can imagine, we're all stuck with the same family members day in and day out, and it gets to you. So we did one where it's just conversation between 2 brothers, and all they do is repeat each other because they run out of conversation. So one says something, the other guy says the same thing back to him, and so on and so forth. So in that sense, we're trying to spin different things out of this terrible situation that we're in. Craft, for sure. I think stand-up comedy per se has to have a lot of art in it. It has to have a lot of organic stuff. It can't just be a craft. So when you look at it, when you're on stage, if you become a comedian, you have to figure out a way for yourself to actually get into that zone. Because you have your material, let's say that's 30%, and you have to get into the room. You have to play the room, you have to play the surroundings, you have to play what's happening. You have to let yourself flow, so to speak. So you become a real artist. So when you're on stage, for sure, 150,000%, let the artistic side, rather than the craftsman, the conscious side, let the streams of consciousness come out. Let the stuff that, which allows you to believe in yourself, let that come out. How to do that? How to unlock that box? Nobody really knows. That's a story for another day, so to speak. I'll quickly tell you different types of comedy. It will take years to do that, but the type that I like. I love banter. For me, that's the highest form. Repartee and banter. I'll give you an example. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of UK, had a rapport or repartee issue or banter with this lovely lady called Lady Astor, who was his critic, fierce critic in Parliament. And they would go like a tennis match to and fro. So once after he made a speech, she was upset with him, his usual almost sexist sort of pondering, and she came back with, Mr. Churchill, if I was your wife, I'd poison your tea. And his repartee was, and if I was your husband, I'd drink it. I love that. That for me is the funniest. I just love that style. There are other styles. Observational comedy is very big, as you know. Seinfeld, for example, one of my gurus. I touch his feet every day. Every Tuesday I walk to his temple and back. Well, fantastic observational humorist. To give you an example again, there's the famous one about the helmet, which is just fabulous when you think about it. We don't think about it, but when you hear it, you understand that, wow, that's the thought. That's how you know it's good. So he talks about skydiving from 15,000 feet in the sky, wearing that plastic helmet on top. And his point is, what's the point of that helmet? Because if you actually fall from 15,000 feet on your head, what's it going to really do? So points like that, the observational points, which I think you start with home, ethnicity, where you come from, your parents, your friends, religion, social culture, etc. And then you move on. I think that's like the base, and then you move on. You build like a pyramid. From there you have to get, the more interesting stuff. But you can get that out of the system. Everything there's a way out of that. Who you are, your base identity. That's your observational humor. How your mother talks Hindi, for example. My mom says stupid things like, "Piche se baat karo" on the phone, which means talk to me from behind, actually. But I've tried to explain it to her, but she won't get it. So you use that initially, and then you move on from there. Then, of course, we come to situational comedy, which is, of course, when you sit down and you structure. And I'll give you the top ones that I've ever seen. Number 1 for me is Blackadder, Rowan Atkinson at his best. Beautifully written, Okay, that's kind of situational comedy. Start to finish, everything is fine. Then we've got Seinfeld, love Seinfeld. Then the other writer, Larry David of Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, slightly adult, but fabulous, absolutely superb. For reading, I would suggest Dave Barry, number one for me in a modern context. Modern context for me is more 90s, by the way, so you have to understand that. Dave Barry, Woody Allen, evergreen. Forget about the morality issues, just look at the writing. Fabulous, absolutely too good. Art Bookwall, if you go back in time again. And then, of course, you've got the Eternals like Oscar Wilde, the first of the Jonathan Swift. There are all kinds of satirists out there who can help. All right? I'm sorry about the barking at the back. The critics are getting angry. So my point is, one last thing which I want to say is the comedy, great idea, you want to do it, but remember it's a real struggle. It's not going to be easy. It's not an industry where everybody makes money unless you go into politics. Because basically there's just a few comedians who make a little money and the rest of them really struggle. If you're ready to struggle, it's a great career. But you have to find your own voice and make your own play. That's the story of the day. Now here's the funny thing. Why did they ask me to do this? Why?